That's a good decision. Before you can improve your technique, you'll have to learn how to hold the weapon right. Beginners often tend to hold one-handed weapons with both hands. Now you better not even start getting into that habit. It'll only get in the way. Hold the weapon with one hand, blade up, and keep swinging it. You'll have to learn to harmonize your weapon swing with your own movements. That'll make you faster in the attack. If you keep in mind what I've taught you, your fights will be more elegant and a lot faster in future. Oh yeah, one more thing. Some hits cause more damage than others. As a beginner, you don't stand much of a chance of making critical hits. But the further you progress, the better you get. Okay, you know the basics. Holding the weapon lower down will put more force into your first strike. Use the swing, remember? Now you need to use your body more. When you've struck twice, spin around. That'll confuse the opponent and put you in an excellent position. Then bring your blade across from right to left once more. And back to the front. Don't forget, practice makes perfect. So get going and become a real master of the art of one-handed fighting. Of course, it'll cost you though. I want 30 ore. We are gathered here today to ordain a servant of fire. Now take the oath of fire. I swear by the might of the gods, I swear by the force of the holy fire, that my knowledge and my deeds from now on and forever shall be one with the flame, until my body shall return to the realm of Beliar, and the fire of my life be extinguished. Of course, the circles symbolize your share of the magic. They stand for knowledge, skill, and the learning of new magic spells. You must pass through each circle before you can join the next. Many hours of learning are required, and you'll need much experience to reach the higher circles. But your efforts to reach them will be rewarded with new and powerful spells each time. However, the circles of magic are more than that. They are part of your life. They will always be with you. Make them part of you. To understand their might, you need to recognize your own. We are magicians of fire. We are the servants of Enos, the highest of all gods. Our magic is a gift from the gods. We've been chosen to act as priests, tutors, and judges. It's a gift which is a constant burden to us, a task which determines our lives. You don't own enough ore. The time has come. You are worthy of wearing the high robe of fire. That is incorrect. Maybe the guards can make use of you. You have replied well and rightly. I shall teach you the art of magic. Follow me to the Hall of Magic, where you will take the ancient vow. You have replied well and rightly. I shall teach you the art of magic. Follow me to the Hall of Magic, where you will take the ancient vow. You have replied well and rightly. I shall teach you the art of magic. Follow me to the Hall of Magic, where you will take the ancient vow. I believe the guards will be just right for you. Speak to Thoris. I believe the guards will be just right for you. Speak to Thoris. Good. You have served the Brotherhood in the swamp. Have you not? Which is the highest virtue of all? What is the name of our god? We have no use for a man who denies his deeds. Make yourself useful as a fighter or digger. The path of magic will remain forever closed to you. Looks like you've been spending too much time among the Swamp Brothers. Maybe you'd better stay there. To enter the first of the magic circles means learning to use magic runes. Each rune contains the structure of a special magic spell. By using your own magic powers, you'll be able to cast the magic of the rune. But in contrast to the magic scrolls, which are magic formulas as well, the magic power of the rune ensures that the structure of the spell endures. Every rune is a source of magic power, which you can fall back on any time. Your own magic power is used up when you use a rune, just as with a spell scroll. With every circle you enter, you learn to use further runes as well. Use the power of the runes to recognize yourself. You have learned to understand the runes. Now is the time to deepen this understanding. When you join the second circle, you will learn the foundations of stronger battle spells, and above all, the secret of healing. But you need to learn much if you want to recognize the true secrets of magic. You know that you can use every rune as often as you like, until you've used up all of your own powers. But before you act, think about the point of your actions. You have obtained powers with which you may easily conjure up death and destruction. But a true magician only uses magic when it is necessary. Understand the situation. Then you'll recognize the power of the runes. The third circle of magic is one of the most important steps in the life of a magician. Once you've reached it, you'll cease to be a seeker. You have already come far on the path of magic. You have learned to use the runes. This knowledge is the foundation for your further path. Use the runes with deliberation. You may use a rune or not, but you must decide on one of these possibilities. Do not hesitate to use your powers as soon as you've made your choice. Understand your path. Then you'll recognize the power of the decision. You have completed the first 3 circles. Now is the time for you to learn the secrets of magic. The magic of the runes is based on the stone. They are magic stones, created out of magic ore. It's the same ore which is collected in the mines. This ore is endowed with magic formulas in the temples. There the runes are converted to the instruments of our power. With the runes you control now, you have the entire knowledge of the temples of the realm at your fingertips. You have now learned everything I can teach you. Understand the magic. Then you'll discover the secret of power. I can help you to increase your power. What use you make of it is your affair. By uttering the words of the oath, you have now entered into a bond with the fire. Wear this robe as a sign of the eternal bond. So you want to become a magician of the Circle of Fire? Many have wanted to join us, but throughout the years I've only taken one as my apprentice. All the others have failed. You are not ready yet. Come back when you've learned more. Your spirit is mature and ready to join us. If you want to become a magician, I must test you first. Let me know when you're ready for the test. If you are injured, I shall heal you. The body heals. The spirit grows clear. May the fire always protect you. I'm glad you've come. I've been expecting you. Gorn asked me to send you to him as soon as you arrived. He has a plan to free the occupied mine. Yes, please see him as soon as possible. Come here. I've already been informed. Here, take these potions. They're potions of all kinds. Now go and bring us the focus stones. These artifacts are our only hope. Come here, come here. Our spiritual leader has told me about your heroic deeds. All the people in the camp, no, the whole colony, are deeply indebted to you. Take this as a modest reward for all your efforts. I am Riordian, the alchemist. I gather you want a potion? If you're injured, I will heal you. Through my words I call upon the powers of healing. Your body and spirit shall be well. I'm glad you've joined us. You must try. If you do not succeed in this, there is only one other, just one. Forget it. You must succeed. Here, take this magic rune. Hand it over to Corristo, the High Magician of the Circle of Fire, as a sign of our trust. With this, he can teleport into this room without passing the guards, anytime he wants. I hope that it will convince our former friends of our good intentions. We now have all the artifacts we need to fulfill our plan. But the barrier was created by 12 magicians. There are not enough magicians in the Circle of Water to control the powerful energies and to guide them onto the right course. I'm aware that you've already done much for our community. We owe you greatly, but in the interest of all the inhabitants of the colony, I need to ask one more favor of you. I'm glad you returned. Something terrible has happened. Hang on. How? But of course. You found out about it in the old camp. Gorn arrived here just before you did. What could have caused Gomez to dare to take such an aggressive step? He should be aware that such a heinous act can only provoke war. Very good. We need the knowledge contained in this book to charge the 5 original focus stones. I'll take the almanac. That's a start. You're doing well. There are still 3 focus stones missing to accomplish our plan. Now go and look out for the remaining focus stones. Good. That's the second focus stone you've brought us. We're getting closer and closer to our target. Be brave and fetch the 2 remaining focus stones. Unbelievable. Now we have 4 focus stones altogether. There's only 1 more missing. Then we'll have them all. You've already done our community a great service. Get the last focus stone, and we'll soon be able to free ourselves. Brilliant. Now we have all 5 focus stones. Your deeds are invaluable to our camp. Be assured of my eternal gratitude. Go to Riordian now. He'll give you something for your immense efforts. Speak to Kronos, the keeper of the ore as well. He'll give you another gift from our community. I see you've used up the teleportation scroll. Here, take a new one. Collapsed? Of course. Then the whole thing makes sense. Gomez has his back to the wall. He's more dangerous than ever. Now that he doesn't have anything left to lose, he'll do anything. May you return in one piece? Yes. Go to the old camp and try to win some of the magicians of the Circle of Fire for our cause. That is the exact reason why you must accomplish this mission. You know people from all the camps of the colony. Remind the magicians of fire of the old times, when we studied the arts of magic together. You're holding the key that can unlock all our bonds. It's one of the 5 focus stones which were used to create the magic barrier, and with the help of the very same focusing power of these stones, we'll tear down the Great Wall of Energy. True, but in all these years we've untiringly collected ore instead of trading it for luxuries with our jailers. As you must know, each ore nugget contains a certain amount of magic power. With the aid of the energy thus amassed in the ore mound, we'll be able to destroy the magic barrier. The explosion will be merely of a magical nature. It will only destroy everything that's been modified by the magic inside the barrier. There is no danger to us human beings. What are you doing here? You've no business here. Scram! You bury on dead? That's bad news. Very bad news indeed. Who's leading the Brotherhood now? That power-hungry and deceitful Kor Kalam? Why is that? He was in second place after Yuburion. I see. Well, at least we're lucky in this regard. Korangar is a good man. He's tough, but honest. If anybody could prevent the Brotherhood from falling apart after this spiritual catastrophe, he can. Had them killed? Why in Beliar's name would he do a thing like that? Then we're all doomed. Without the other 6 magicians, we'll never be able to control the concentrated power of the massive ore mound. But in spite of that, I thank you for passing this dangerous message on to me. If Kronos gave you permission to visit me, it must be important news indeed. Good. Very good. Then you are now officially a part of our community. Be welcome. I must warn you, searching for them will prove as difficult as it will be dangerous. Since conflict with the old camp is getting worse every day, I cannot give you any mercenary either. You'll be totally on your own. Your confidence does you credit, but you'll need some items to assist you. Take this map here. It's old, but on it you'll see the original locations of the focus stones when the barrier was created. Also, this spell scroll will enable you to travel back to our camp faster. Finally, you need to speak to Riordian. He brews the potions for the camp. You'll find him in his hut, here, on the upper level. Nothing. We need the 4 remaining focus stones first. Unfortunately, we don't have any of these 4 magic stones. Well, I had hoped we could make it without his help, but the way things are developing... All right. Many years ago. Be patient. Well, when we, the 12 magicians, created the barrier back then, our magic powers were directed and controlled by a 13th magician. Most people who did not experience the early days of the colony believe that. This 13th magician was our leader. All this took place before we were divided into the circles of fire and water. But he left the old camp, which was once the only camp of the colony. If I knew that, I would tell you. I'd advise you to do some research in our library. Maybe you'll find something in the old books about the strengths and weaknesses of magically invoked creatures. He's the only one that can help us now. If he knows no way out, or doesn't want to help us, there is one other problem. Yes, over the years we've tried to get in touch with Xardas several times, but it looks like he prefers to remain undisturbed. None of the messengers ever return from his tower. You'll have to find a way to get past his creatures. He lives in seclusion, in his tower, in the middle of the Orc land. That's just about the southernmost point of the colony. He started to investigate the invocation of undead and magical creatures. Gomez was not the only one who began to worry. Most of the other magicians opposed him as well, and his unholy deeds. Unlike Gomez, he was no butcher, so he avoided the conflict and left. His name is Xardas. Hardly anybody remembers the old stories about him. The ones who do just call him the necromancer. Talk to Lee. He'll see to it. Then come back to me. It is not yet time for you to wear the high robe. The little ore that you have won't even cover the manufacturing costs. The time has come. You are worthy of wearing the high robe of water. Servant of the fire, you shall now receive the blessing of the water. Now speak the words of the oath. I swear by the might of the gods, and by the power of the holy water, that my knowledge and my deeds from now on and forever shall be one with the water, until my body shall return to the realm of Beliar, and the source of my life shall dry out. With this oath, you unite the power of the fire and the blessing of the water within you. You have now bound together what was apart before. May your life be a sign of the unification of the elements. Wear this robe as a sign of your bond with the holy water and with Adanos. To enter the first of the magic circles means learning to use magic runes. Each rune contains the structure of a special magic spell. By using your own magic powers, you'll be able to cast the magic of the rune. But in contrast to the magic scrolls, which are magic formulas as well, the magic power of the rune ensures that the structure of the spell endures. Every rune is a source of magic power which you can fall back on any time. Your own magic power is used up when you use a rune, just as with a spell scroll. With every circle you enter, you learn to use further runes as well. Use the power of the runes to recognize yourself. You have learned to understand the runes. Now it is time to deepen this understanding. When you join the second circle, you will learn the foundations of stronger battle spells, and above all, the secret of healing. But you need to learn much if you want to recognize the true secrets of magic. You know that you can use every rune as often as you like, until you've used up all your own powers. But before you act, think about the point of your actions. You have obtained powers with which you may easily conjure up death and destruction. But a true magician only uses magic when it's necessary. Understand the situation. Then you'll recognize the power of the runes. The third circle of magic is one of the most important steps in the life of a magician. Once you've reached it, you cease to be a seeker. You have already come far on the path of magic. You've learned to use the runes. This knowledge is the foundation for your further path. Use the runes with deliberation. You may use a rune or not, but you must decide on one of these possibilities. Do not hesitate to use your powers as soon as you've made your choice. Understand your path. Then you'll recognize the power of the decision. You have completed the first 3 circles. Now is the time for you to learn the secrets of magic. The magic of the runes is based on the stone. They are magic stones, created out of magic ore. It is the same ore which is collected in the mines. This ore is endowed with magic formulas in the temples. There the runes are converted to the instruments of our power. With the runes you control now, you have the entire knowledge of the temples of the realm at your fingertips. You have now learned everything I can teach you. Understand the magic. Then you'll discover the secret of power. So be it. I shall teach you the power of the 5th circle, the storm of fire, the wave of ice, and the power to destroy the undead are now spells whose runes you can use. But the mightiest spell of the 5th circle is the ripple of death. If you ever possess this rune, you'll have dangerous powers. Be careful to use this kind of magic as little as possible. It's a gift from the god of darkness. Expose your limits, then you'll recognize your true power. There's much you need to learn. I shall teach you as soon as you're ready. There is one more circle you don't know yet. I shall teach you as soon as you're ready. You have already mastered the 5th circle of magic. You know all I know. I can't teach you any more. You don't belong to the old camp any longer? Then I welcome you to our community. Not yet. First, you need to take the oath of water. It doesn't mean you're breaking your vow. You're extending your vow. That way you'll become a magician of both elements. Then you'll have the force of fire, as well as the wisdom of water. Have you spoken to Xardas? Well, what? Why not? You need to find him and ask him for advice. What do you mean? He needs to find a way how to blow up the ore mound. Find Xardas. He needs the help. Oh! Guards! Here! For Gomez. Was I asleep? Behind you! Oh! How ineffective. Looks quite strenuous. Oh! A nuisance of a creature. I have to kill you. It's nothing personal, you understand. You've borrowed something from me. Now you'll have to pay for it. Greetings. Get out of here. It won't be easy to straighten that out. Give it to me. Hands off. That was it then. Served him right. Hey, you. It was unnecessary to kill him. You'll be in great trouble for that. I need to get back to my studies. Intruder! You heard me. Stop your sorcery. Put the weapon down. Can I help you? I'll take that weapon. The ore is useful for sure. These fights bore me. My property is not for you. That's one way of doing it. Okay. That's the way you wanted it. You need to learn to stick to the rules. Okay, I don't want it anymore. Now make yourself scarce. You've given me a fair thrashing, man. 'Twas a good fight. But now it's over. You shouldn't get in trouble with my friends. Lay your hands on a novice again and you'll be sorry. If you attack one of my protégés, it might cost you your head. You're disturbing my studies. You killed an ore baron? Man, are you completely nuts? You killed a guru. Boy, I don't believe it. You've killed a magician. How do you ever plan to justify that? You've killed one of us. Another little mistake and your number will be up. The new camp has suffered a tragic loss, and it appears you're involved. A member of the old camp is dead, and your name was mentioned in connection with his death. You've killed somebody. The Brotherhood counts one believer less, and you've got him on your conscience. You'll regret that. You don't want trouble again, do you? Man, you've stolen from the ore barons. They'll be raging. You relieve the gurus of a few things. How dare you turn up here, dirty thief? You've got some stuff that belongs to us. You'd better give it back. How did you get in here? You must be joking. Let's forget our little difference of opinion. I'm not interested in what you're up to. You looking for trouble with me again? For the honor of magic, step aside. You better not do that again. You need to become advanced before you become a master. You're already better now. I can't teach you anything. You don't have enough experience. You're at the end of your possibilities. You should learn something different. Not now. That's enough for now. You haven't been invited. Keep it. That was painful. Let me pass. He has learned something. Awaken. You don't have any ore. I don't want to take this challenge right now. If you think, maybe, that wasn't very clever, I'd better keep out of it. That's really not my problem. It was obvious that there'd be trouble ahead. But keep it to yourself. People don't need to know it. That won't happen again. There must be something about that story after all. You have to watch what you tell people. As long as I'm not involved, you shouldn't believe everything you hear. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes, though. Same old story. Every time. Some people never learn. There was a time when things could have gone very differently. People always talk. I'm not listening to all the blathering anymore. Rely on somebody and you're in trouble. That's how it goes. I doubt that it's ever likely to change. You're very probably right. Hang on. Better not go rushing into anything. I thought that had been cleared ages ago. Let's talk about something else instead. You relieved the magicians of a couple of things. Stop your magic. A good trick. He's just disappeared. You knocked down an ore baron. He was impressed. You defeated one of the gurus. I'm impressed. To win against the magician? You know that the novices are under my protection? And nevertheless you still touch them? If you touch the diggers, you're laying hands on my income. You had problems, so I heard. Give me my weapon back. One of us has been killed. We'll find the culprit. He's over there. A fight! You're aiming at me. Would you stop aiming at me? What do you want with that weapon? I'm sure we'll meet again. Just watch out. You've no business in there, understood? What can I do for you? What was that? What are you sneaking around for? Just leave before I call the guards. Smart decision. My servant has already given you a teleportation rune for the pentagram 1 floor below. That will make it easier for you to get back here later. There is a solution, but first you have to restore the blade's former powers. Then come back. Well, one thing is certain. The answer lies deep beneath the orc town. Orcs are not animals, as many people think. Their culture is as old as the human culture. A few centuries ago, 5 orc shaman invoked a very old archdemon, which they hoped would give their clan the power to defeat their enemies. The orcs gave him that name much later. But I won't tell you why they did it, or why they are now terrified by this supernatural creature. You should go to my old tower. It sank below one of the eastern lakes during one of the earthquakes. The spires are still visible above the surface. There are still some artifacts inside it. I never made any effort to salvage them. I haven't been there since the earthquake, which means you'll have to find a way to enter it yourself. But take this key. It opens a chest in which I used to store some particularly rare artifacts. Forget the ore mound. Its power won't open the barrier. If Corristo and Saturas hadn't wasted their time fighting over foolish and vain issues throughout the past years, they'd all know what I know now. None of the 12 magicians ever stopped to wonder why the formation of the barrier got beyond their control, or why it assumed such gigantic proportions. Who dares to disturb me in my studies? I don't wish to know your name. It's insignificant. All that matters is that you're the first person in years to have solved my golem's riddles. I believe you could be... No. To be really sure, you'll have to perform another task. Listen carefully. The orcs have exiled one of their shaman from the town. He'll tell you the rest of the story about the sleeper. Do you want me to help you or do you not? Then never question my words again. Find the shaman. He's not on good terms with his brothers in the orc town, so he may listen to you before turning you into a living torch. Go to the old citadel in the east. You can't miss it. It's on top of a high mountain, which can be seen from a distance. They call it the old citadel, but there's hardly anything left of it other than the foundation walls. It's been a ruin for many decades. The dying orc warrior was no longer able to answer that question when he was interrogated by one of my demons. It's done, but you won't be able to use it by yourself. It has to be spoken by a magician while you touch the power source with the sword. Take the formula and restore the sword's former power. You'll need it. You have? That's remarkable. You have become very powerful. Stronger than anybody else inside the barrier. Maybe you really are the man the orcish prophecies told of. That does not surprise me. Those foolish barbarian butchers in the castle, especially Gomez, were never to be trusted. Corristo and the other magicians elected their own hangman when they helped Gomez to usurp the power. Show it to me. That's interesting. It has Eurizio written on it. I've heard of this sword. It's a weapon from the olden days, when the human race was still young. The weapon was forged from an unknown material, and there's nothing written about who created it. This blade was said to possess unbelievable powers, but I don't notice any magical aura. It was written that the owner of the weapon was able to pierce the strongest armor and to overcome even the most powerful of protection spells. It's claimed that the orcs took it from a powerful warlord. They didn't know how to use it, but they did hide it. You'd need a very strong magical source of power for that purpose. About that strong. Besides, you'll need a very special magic formula in order to transfer the power. Give me some time, and I'll create the magic formula. I shall raise you into the 6th circle of magic. Notice that only the most powerful magicians may join the 6th circle. It's reserved to those whose life is a sign. Your sign is the unification of the elements. The 6th circle enables you to use the magic of any rune. And don't forget, do not claim the power, but serve it. Not yet. You have the skill, but you're not experienced enough. Let Saturas train you first. I shall instruct you afterwards. Look closely at Eurizio. You'll notice the big blue jewel in the blade. It contains the magical powers of the blade. If I remove the jewel, I'll be able to create a magic rune which contains the attributes of Eurizio itself. In battle, the rune will be as powerful as a sword, but don't forget that only a magician of the 6th circle will be able to control such a powerful magic rune. But you have not yet mastered the 6th circle of magic. This decision is final. Do you really want me to remove the jewel? Since it's what you want, here, take the empty sword and the rune, as you wish. The blade shall keep its magic powers. I see. You're wearing the ore armor. As I can see, you found the ore armor. It belonged to the general who wielded Eurizio in the battle against the Orcs. We don't have much time, so listen carefully. The sleeper is not far. I had to use all my powers to get here. I have translated the Orcish prophecies and discovered what the 5 hearts are about. The 5 hearts of the priest you defeated were placed in 5 shrines. These shrines may be opened, but only the ancient blades carried by the priest can harm the hearts. Now you must pierce the hearts with the 5 blades. Only thus will you be able to drive the sleeper from this world. Hurry, for the awakening of the archdemon is nigh. The crazed Korkalam and his misled disciples are here. They have gathered in the hall of the sleeper. The might of the sleeper is growing stronger and stronger. I must. Not many. And when they began to annoy me, I confronted them with one of my supernatural creatures. Ancient Orcish documents written shortly after the sealing of the underground temple mention a holy foe, someone who shall come to drive the sleeper from our world forever. Maybe, maybe not. Well, then report. That's right. Very good, very good. Have you found a way to enter the temple? No details. Go to the underground temple. There you'll find the only way to destroy the barrier. Didn't you call on me to help with the destruction of the barrier? Then go. A lot of time has already been wasted. Go into the underground temple to find the answer. The ore mound is not the solution. No, there is a greater danger than anyone within the barrier could possibly imagine. It's incredible. The sword has regained its former powers. Now you have a really powerful weapon. Come back when you have enough gold. Those 2 types of arms are rather similar. As soon as you reach the next level with one type of weapon, you automatically learn for the other as well. If, for instance, you're good at fighting with one-handed swords, but still a beginner with two-handed weapons, your two-handed skills will go up as well whenever you train with a one-hander. If you train with one type of weapon only, you'll find the training more exhausting. If you always train both, you'll arrive at the same result with less effort. In the end, the outcome will be the same either way. It's your choice. A good question. I see you've given the subject some thought. One-handed weapons are faster, but a little weaker. Two-handers cause more damage, but you can't strike as fast. Also, you need more strength to wield a two-hander. This means additional training. The only way to become really good is to invest a lot of effort. If you have a problem with wolves or field raiders, go talk to one of the younger mercenaries. You can come to me when the paladins show up here. Whenever one of you peasants comes to me, it's always about slaughtering innocent beasts. Oh? What is it you want, then? I can teach you to use any weapon. Where shall we start? I can train you to use a one-handed sword. But you're not good enough yet to wield a two-hander. I don't waste my time with beginners. When it comes to one-handers, you're a damn beginner, but your two-handed skills aren't so bad. If you need more experience with one-handed arms, go find a different teacher. I only train mercenaries, or worthy candidates. You've become better already. Keep it up. You look more like someone who'd been born to work in the field, boy. Can you wield a weapon, then? Have you gotten better by now? So, how about one-handed weapons? And two-handed weapons, then? Well, at least you're not a damn beginner. All right, I'm going to vote you in. Whatever else you need to know, you can learn from me. In other words, you're a damn greenhorn. Each mercenary needs to be able to rely on his comrades. All our lives depend on that. As long as you barely know how to wield a weapon, you're in the wrong place here.
The eye has lost its power, and you will not survive the next day. I simply cannot believe that there are truly still people who will forfeit their lives merely to see a dragon in the flesh. You do not mean to say that you wish to challenge me? Ha ha ha! I shall break your scrawny neck. Ah! Then pose your ridiculous questions while you still can. Your power will not last long in a place that will be inaccessible to you. Once I am finally free of the chains of the eye, I keep my treasure high up on the hot cliffs, which should be all but impossible to reach for a wingless human such as you. Stay, human. All of my senses tell me that the murderer of my own flesh and blood stands before me. Was it not enough for you that you destroyed almost all of our offspring? You have my brother Fiomather on your conscience, and you will pay for that. Ah! It will be a pleasure for me to burn you alive. You have come far, little human, but you will never leave these halls alive. My name is Fiomather, and that is all you will learn about me. Once I can escape the spell of the eye, you will go up in flames. Do not trouble yourself trying to understand the meaning of our gathering, little hero. Beliar has not only permitted us to be here, he has even commanded it. Inspired by his holy words, we shall not rest until his will is made deed. The power of the eye is extinguished, and your time has run out. Why do you disturb my rest? Must I bury myself still further, just so you annoying little mites will finally leave me alone? You humans are curious creatures. Swept away by the icy wind of death, there will always be at least one who rises from the ashes, thinking he is destined to be a hero. But that will soon be over. I shall personally see to it that none of you will rise again anytime soon. Ha ha ha! Ask away, then. Your knowledge will not help you. I am Finkrig, Lord of Ice and Snow, Guardian of the Congress, and ultimately, your death. Enough words. Your temporary power is exhausted. The eye has lost its strength. Prepare to die. Yet another presumptuous mite who dared to climb my rock. You little humans, so brave and yet so fragile. I shall tear out your entrails and feed them to the rats. Ah! Ask your questions. We draw our power from the elements of this world. Their hierarchy is clear and simple. Land formed of soft earth bestows life on all creatures under the sun. Yet it will open up and swallow you entirely if you get too close to it. The rock, which would rather break than ever surrender, towers with pride and buries the careless beneath itself, and yet it offers the best protection from the tide. The spark of life lives in the deep fires of this world, and yet the fire incinerates everything in a breath, leaving nothing but ashes. All our elements preserve and destroy, but only in water that has become hard and solid as rock will everything be transformed into an eternal pillar of salt, where life is barely possible. I am called Padrakan, and I shall slowly skin you alive when I catch you. The power of the eye is exhausted. Your life ends here, human. Woe unto you if you come one step closer. Many of your sort have come. I have swept them all away. Ha ha ha! You dare to threaten me, little worm? Name just one reason why I should not tear you into 1,000 pieces right now. Ah! Say what you want of me. My name is Pandador, and you would be well advised if you crawled back under the rock from whence you came. The elements, from which everything is made, hold this world together. Each one stands for the ability to control a part of the world. Search for the elements, and you will find the others. So now you've managed to find me. I've waited all too long for your arrival. Ha 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 ha! What do you know of my intentions? Have I not sent you the Seekers to lure you onto my trail? Have I not left the signs of my existence so clearly that you absolutely could not miss me? And have the dragon eggs not contributed to your armor, which helped you get to me? Were not the converted paladins reason enough for you to seek after the secret driving force? Were not the possessed of your kind reason enough for you to seek after the secret driving force? As much as you twist and turn, you cannot dispute all of that. Ha ha ha! You're not yet ready to defeat me. Only one brief moment, and I shall have reached my goal. Your bones will serve me to let the ill winds of death blow across the world. My master is the Lord of Night. You know him. You can hear his call. My armies will rise from the ground in his name and shroud the world in darkness. The divinity bestowed upon me will inspire me to drown the world in a river of violence. Only when the last fortress of the righteous has fallen shall I rest. Ha ha! You still have to ask that? Search within yourself, you fool. You know who I am. I bear no name, just as you bear no name. I am given the divine power from my Creator, just as you bear the power of your God in you. My fate is in the destruction of the world, just as your fate is determined by the integrity and virtue of a paladin. Just as your hand brings certain death, Dragon Hunter. Just as the preaching of the faith of Enos is your purpose, Magician of Fire. Do you not feel the bond that ties us together? Yes, you know who I am. Xardas is weak and no threat to me. You alone are worthy of facing me. So it is written. The time has come to accept your fate. You need a weapon, which was made only for you. You need a sword, which has been blessed by your God. You need a rune, which was crafted only for you. The higher meaning of our Congress in this world, little human, will remain hidden to you. Only my heart could help you to renew the power of the eye, but you will not succeed in snatching away my heart. Ha ha! Before you can act, you must first understand the meaning of our Congress. However, no one will disclose that to you of his own free will. The eye alone could loosen our tongues and reveal to you our true goals. In any case, it will be of no use to you when you are dead. It has already been reported to us that you have chosen the path of the Dragon Hunter. Therefore, we have dispatched our offspring to your world in order to secure the continuance of our ancestral line. You have already lost, little human. The eye has granted you access. However, single combat alone will decide whether you are worthy of me. Our future and well-being is controlled by the Master with his word of power. Soon no one will be able to resist him. His long arm already stretches far from the realm of the dead. The spirits of the night gather in joyful anticipation of his arrival. He will overcome you humans and rule the world. In his shadow, we are no more than accessories to his creative power. The Master will come to raise your afflicted bodies from the ashes and use them to reshape the fate of the world. He is almighty and nigh unto invincible. Should you be so foolish as to meet him, nevertheless, you will die a slow and painful death. In order to oppose my master, you require things which he would never be able to obtain. You must acquire the finest armor known to your earthly community and wear it on your skin. But the most difficult condition of all is that you must win 5 companions who would follow you into death. Then and only then can you dare to face the Master. He has established his hoard in the solid rock of the halls of Idarath and waits there for his destiny. Until he can restore this world to the order which it has deserved, he waits there in deep meditation. And, ha ha ha, you disappoint me, little man. So you've withstood all of the dangers and overcome almost all of us, and now you fail in your inability to use the higher knowledge. If Idarath means nothing to you, then you'd better go to your magicians and ask them to be allowed to take care of their worldly needs. For quite obviously, you're not yet ready for the heavy burden of their higher knowledge.
Go away, go already. Not so great. Back when the barrier was still in place, times were better. The prisoners would scrape boxes and boxes of ore from the mines. and my ships then brought it to the mainland. On their way back, they brought food and other wares. But now we're cut off from the mainland, and I have to rely on the farmers for supplies. Hey, you, wait a minute. You're headed for the Valley of Mines, aren't you? Here's a bargain. You give me a report on what's going on with the ore, and for that I will get you a rune stone, a ring that increases your life energy. Here, take this rune stone. Here's your ring. Right now I'm living off my savings. But if I can't get back into business, times are going to get rough for me. I'm ruined. I should have listened to my father and kept out of this mining business. And? How's the situation there? That can't be true. That means I'm ruined. Now, about your reward. You novices have worked hard lately, and those who work a lot shall eat a lot too. I'm giving you a key to the larder. You'll find some mutton sausages there. Distribute them among the novices, but fairly. Once you've done that, you can come see me again. Yes, as you know, we make an excellent wine here, and we sell it too. Orlan, the landlord of the inn, the Dead Harpy, has ordered a shipment. We've agreed to 240 gold pieces for the bottles. Bring him these bottles, but don't let him shortchange you. Ah, you're bringing your offering for Enos. That's good of you, my son. I shall use your offering for the best of the monastery, as it pleases Enos. Can I be of assistance to you? My tasks are many and varied. Not only am I the steward, but I am also the treasurer. Moreover, I supervise the wine cellar, and I'm in control of the monastery's food supplies. So, if there's anything you need, you can always come to me and get it. For a modest contribution, that is. There's a free chamber on the right here. Take the key. You'll find everything you need there. Wait, mercenary, I need to talk to you. The monastery is facing a very delicate situation. At the moment, everyone seems to mistrust everybody else. And then, this thing with Pedro, that's extremely... I have an assignment for you from the highest authorities. You're not a member of the Brotherhood of the Fire, and therefore the only one here who can settle this matter for us. But I must warn you, if I give you this assignment, you'll be bound to fulfill it too. Once you know what it's about, you'll have no choice. Do you understand? All right, then listen well, for I'm only going to say this once. Serpentis wants you to kill Pedro for his treason. As soon as you lay your hands on him, you will be paid as soon as this task is fulfilled. I never said that, and you haven't heard anything either. Understand? All right. In that case, forget I said anything. And, did you get the 240 gold coins? What have you done with that gold? Did you spend it? Go get it and then come back. You sold it to him cheaper. Oh, no. Why did I have to send you of all people? You really are utterly and completely useless. Now get out of my sight. Excellent. You're really useful. Take this spell scroll of healing as a reward. Now go and find yourself something else to do. But you've already spent part of the money, haven't you? You're good for nothing. Be gone. There's an empty bed right next door. The first on the right, next to the entrance. You can sleep there. You can store your belongings in one of the unused chests. And remember, you have no business entering the sleeping chambers of the magicians. You're also not allowed to enter the library, unless you've been given permission. And you have done so fairly. Take these spell scrolls of healing and go back to your work. Really? Then you cannot have put much effort into fulfilling your task. So, either you ate those sausages yourself, or you gave someone more than his share. Listen, since you're new, and for that reason only, I shall let you get away with it. Keep that in mind, novice. Hey, it's you who demanded the test of fire, not I. Finding that out is part of the test. Yes. Well, you've probably noticed those black-robed figures. This brings us to the core of the matter. At the moment, we're observing a very rare constellation of stars. To be more exact, the sign of the ox currently stands in direct correlation with the sign of the warrior. I suppose you know what that means. Yes, I see. Well, I cannot explain the entire background to you now, but it definitely signifies a great change. And I do not like change. Therefore, I want you to get me a book from town. It's called The Divine Power of the Stars. You may have to rummage around for it a bit, but I'm sure you'll find it. What do you mean? Nothing. What were you expecting to get? If you have time to run an errand in town for me, it's even your duty to help me. You dare speak to me in such a tone? Your behavior does not show the respect that is due to me. Get out of my sight and think about your behavior. That's good. It frees up my time so I can follow some other trails as well. But don't take too much time. Time, I'm afraid, is what we have the least of. Now you want me to teach you the formula? All right, I'll teach you the formula. But first you need to find all the necessary ingredients. The test of fire is from the olden days and has not been held for a long time. What you're demanding is far too dangerous, so just don't think about it anymore. Read up on it. It's right there in the books. Well, you seem to have passed this test. That wasn't so hard after all. Then go to Ulthar now and show him your work. I am Master Hyglas, guardian of the fire and keeper of the knowledge. So Master Parlin has given you permission to study the scriptures. Then it's up to you now to do exactly that. Study, so that you may find enlightenment in the scriptures. Very good. Give it here. So you've changed your mind after all. Very good. So where do you have the book? You may withdraw now. I shall retire and study. My research focuses on fire, the power of Enos. It is his gift and at the same time a mighty weapon, and I create runes which contain his power. It is Enos who grants the magic. Only to his servants, the magicians of fire, is it given to learn how to wield this power. Well, I cannot be completely sure, but the current constellation of the stars seem to indicate many dangers. Well, the structure between the worlds seems to be very weak. It only takes a small portion of the power that would be necessary otherwise to tear a hole in this structure. Demons could use those portals to enter our world without encountering resistance. No, I'm still waiting for that book. I told you I'm still doing some research, but of course, that'll take longer if I do not have the necessary materials. In order to create a fire arrow rune, you'll need to join the sulfur with the rune stone at the rune table. The power of the fire arrow, spelled scroll, will flow into the rune, and you will possess a tool of Enos. So, once you have all the raw materials, walk over to the rune table and create your rune. Is that really true? Finally I can get back to my work. Come with me to the lighthouse. You get an incredible view of the sea up there. I'd give my right arm if only they'd hire me on a big schooner just one more time. But for an old sea dog like me, that's not easy, my lad. Anyway, who would take care of the lighthouse then? Shiver me timbers. What are you planning to do, matey? You're not fixing to board the King's war galley, are you? That would be something. Ah, well. But I can't give up me lighthouse just like that. What shall we do about that? Not a bad idea, matey. And I know just the person. Harad the blacksmith has an apprentice called Brian. I've talked to him many times before. I'd like to entrust my lighthouse to him. I think he'd be just the person for that. Go talk to him. Maybe we're lucky and the lad will help us out. Oh, these are terrible times. And such a nice fella he was. I had hoped you would say that. Do you still need me? Let's see whether the boy is any good. I've sailed the 7 seas, my lad, but never before have I been captain of a ship. I shall give it my best. So, show me your ship and your crew. Do you know then where you're headed? I mean, do you have a nautical chart? If you say so. I always say a town is only as good as its harbor. A harbor is the gate to the world. That's where everyone meets and where everything starts. Once the harbor goes to the dogs, the rest of the city will follow soon. I hope you know what you're doing, matey. Keep your head on your shoulders and come back in one piece. If this hell breaks loose over us one more time, I'll get the ship out of here. With or without you, do you hear? Make haste, then. I had hoped that everything would turn out well, but I must admit that during those last few hours, I haven't been so sure. Can we finally set sail again now? Make haste, will you? I don't want to catch scurvy here. Ahoy, you landlubber. Looks like you're stranded here. You look a bit pale around the gills. Never mind, my lad. All you need is a good stiff sea breeze. The harbor of Corristo isn't what it used to be. There's nothing but riffraff hanging about. The ships don't come anymore, and trade is dead. This harbor's about to go under. Nobody would take an old sea dog like me on his ship these days. Most people think that old Jack's got the gout in his rotten old bones. Balderdash. Once I've got those planks beneath me feet again, I'll feel like a young whippersnapper. Look at them, the lazy rabble. Most of them don't even know what work is. All they do is drink all day and spend their last pay at the brothel. I tell you, stay away from them. They all say that once the war is over, everything will be like it used to be. That's a load of bilge water. I tell you, a sailor can see when a town's going downhill. A sailor feels that in his blood, and I can tell you, forget about this harbor. Its heyday's over. Back when I was a young man, I went to sea and rode through many a big storm. No big deal, not at all. But that old tower came closest to what I call a home. I haven't been up there in ages. Ever since these scallywags took over my lighthouse, I haven't dared get closer to it than 20 feet. Really bad rabble, that. They're criminals from the Valley of Mind, you know. There was this big bang on the other side of the mountains, and they swarmed all over the land like flies. Now they're hiding out everywhere, even in my lighthouse. I think they're on the lookout for any ship they can raid. Ah, let 'em. Then at least they'd be out of my tower. Thank you. Just walk on all the way up the stairs and take in the beautiful view, me lad. Make yourself at home. Everything's ship-shape. Show me your nautical chart, then. Some trip this is turning out to be. I hope we'll get there in one piece. Do you really have everything you need? We're not going to sail back just because you're missing something. If you're sure that you've got everything, go to the captain's quarters and hit the sack. You're going to need it. Easy does it, my lad. I haven't even seen the tub yet. It doesn't work this way. First, you need a complete crew with at least 5 men, free access to the ship, and a nautical chart. Otherwise, forget it. I've thought matters over. I'm going to stay here and guard my lighthouse after all. If you want to know that, you should take a look in his ledger. Only it might be pretty difficult to do that without him noticing. As far as I know, he always carries it with him. You're not likely to find work down here at the harbor. You need to go to the craftsman in the lower part of town for that. But if you wield a decent blade, you could go challenge Ulrich. He fights for gold behind the warehouse. You won't find anyone down here at the harbor. The only powerful man here is Lamar. The moneylender is not very popular, but he has gold, and other influential citizens owe him money. The merchants and craftsmen also have a lot of influence. Too much, if you ask me. Bad times, my friend. You won't find enough sailors in all of Corinus. Most of them have left the city. But with a good captain, it shouldn't be too hard to find yourself a few bright lads and make them into a decent crew before too long. You're asking the wrong guy. I just run this tavern. Go talk to old Jack. He's been hanging around this harbor for as long as I can think. And when it comes to seafaring, he's your man. Hey, how could that be my fault? All I did was pass on some information. If anyone is determined to step on your toes, I guess he'll have his reasons. Something special, you say? Go talk to Nagur, then. Maybe he can help you. I've got something for you, but that should only interest you if you're a man of versatile talents. Well, Zuris, the potion vendor in the marketplace, currently has a guest, Darren the fire magician. He had a new chest made specially for him by Thorben the carpenter. They say that this Darren has brought a bunch of valuable stuff with him. But you didn't hear that from me, understand? Certainly not here. I've nothing to do with stuff like that. Certainly not here. I'd talk to Meldor if I were you. After all, he smokes all day. So what's that to you? Have you got your purse open then? Every piece of information I give you will cost 10 gold pieces. Hey, wait. All right, 5 gold pieces. But that's my final offer. What? 5 gold pieces? Are you trying to ruin me? Let's make it 7. Oh, I'm simply out of shape. But whatever. It's a deal. All right. I'll go down to 7. You're a scoundrel, you know that? Well, if you insist, let's say 6 gold pieces for each piece of information. A wise decision. Well, so if there's anything you want to know, ask me. You struck a good bargain. I'm always at your service. If you want something to drink, you'll have to order it. Well, rather tall, dark-skinned and strong, but no uniform. Somehow menacing. His face, when he looked at me, I was glad that it wasn't me he had come for. There was something scary in his eyes. Anyway, I think you should go see him. This is bound to be interesting. There are a few competent people here in the harbor district. Carl the blacksmith is a sturdy fellow. I'll bet he can show you how to get stronger. Ulrich knows a lot about fighting, and Laris is a cunning rogue. He's down here at the harbor sometimes as well. And if you're crazy enough to go see old Hyglas, he knows all about almich potions. Oh, Boy, the king will have won his war against the orcs before I've done explaining that to you. Just look around the harbor district and you're bound to find them. And if you don't know your way about, go to Braham and buy yourself a map. He's easy to find. His hut is right next to my tavern. I should have charged double for that one. Whoever owns such a package is a rich man, and probably a very relaxed man as well. All right. This fellow came to my tavern the other day, one of the mercenaries. He said that he sold a package of swamp weed at the harbor, but of course he was completely stoned. That's all I know. Hey, you, come over here. I've got something for you. There's a fellow here who insisted on talking to you. Since you weren't here, he told me to give you a message. He wants to meet you behind Halver's fish shop. This piece of information is free, but that's an exception, kid. Anything beyond that will cost you. I could tell you that, but you need to pay for it, my friend. You're involved with the gang. All right. In that case, I've got something for you. If you ever need some lockpicks, come to me. I still have a few around. Just ask me for something to drink. Now listen up. I inherited this farm and this land from my father, and he inherited it from his father. I'm not going to allow that greedy imbecile of a king to make off with all that just in order to feed his useless armies. The war with the orcs has been going on forever. And where do we stand? On the edge of defeat. No, I prefer to defend my farm myself. The money that I save this way can pay for my own army. You can get yourself one from the pasture. One or the other of those sheep is bound to follow you. Most of them answer the name of Betsy. You don't even have that much gold. Don't waste my precious time. I pay for mercenaries, not dragon hunters. You don't take care of the assignments given to you. I've asked Torloff how you're doing, and he said it takes you forever to complete a job. I don't waste money on layabouts. You'll go a few weeks without pay for now. Maybe you'll learn your lesson then. I've heard that you messed up. First go to Lee and settle the matter. Are you out of your mind? First work for me for a day. You'll get your next pay tomorrow then. Where were you yesterday? Where have you been for the last couple of days? You never showed up here. Who knows where you've been hanging out? Oh well, here's your pay. What? You've done nothing but hang around all day or just slept. I'm not paying you for that. Who let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm? Well, let's see. I don't think too much of you. You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer. That's obvious from that thing from Sekov. You've already caused trouble here on the farm more than once, and you're constantly after me with all kinds of bullshit. Let me think. What do you say? Of course you're welcome to work for me for free instead. Anyway, this is all you'll get. I think so too. Now go see Lee. What do you think? Per week? You're really none too bright, so move your butt over here and come get your money. I'm not going to carry it after you. He's already talked to me. I already didn't think much of you the first time you asked me, but if Lee thinks you'll do, then I'm willing to give you a chance. He's the one responsible for you, so suit yourself. But no fooling around here. Leave the farmers and the maids alone, and, above all, don't nab anything, capiche? For everything else, talk to Lee. All we need to discuss now is your pay. What? That woman has to stick her nose into everything. Did she say how much? All right. Beginning with your next pay, you'll get an extra 10 gold pieces. But not a coin more, understood? I don't see how that's any of your business. You don't belong on the farm. I certainly hope so. That's what I'm paying you for, after all. You had better go to Torloff and ask him if he has work for you. Yeah, sure. You just go and hunt your dragons. You sanctimonious bastards from the monastery aren't welcome here. Our hospitality does not extend to the troops of the king. What are you doing here, then? See a sheep anywhere? If you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right of my house. Have Pepe sell you one. Oh, in that case, leave 200 gold pieces here with me, and go get yourself a sheep from the pasture. And what are you talking about? Who is Bolko? How would that interest me? If he's been after my sheep, he'll have to answer to Lee. So why are you bugging me with such trivial details? What the hell do you want here? Take the money to Torloff. How the devil would that be your business? You nitwit! Do you think he just carries that money around? He's hidden it somewhere. Do you know how much rain we have here? Bad harvest my ass. Go and beat that money out of him somehow. I don't need a farmhand right now. My people see to everything else. You have no business here in the house, so get out. You? A mercenary? Don't make me laugh. If you were any good as a mercenary, Lee would have told me about you. Now get yourself out of here, pronto. Now you only need to improve your dexterity. Listen, you can't be serious, can you? You're bagging our gold. You're trying to steal from us. Who says our booty is stored down here? In a very safe place. All right, you can keep the gold, but I'll keep an eye on you. So don't overdo it. I can't teach you anything. You already know everything about picking locks. I can show you how to pick a lock. That'll cost you a mere... Great, I'm at your service. Get the gold then, and come back. Have you lost your way? I don't think this is the right place for you. If anything happens to you here, no one's going to help you. So be careful, so you're in. Well, I wish you success then, and be careful, whatever you do. Oh, and one more thing. I don't care who you are up there, and with whom you work. Here below, you're only one of us. A thief. No more, and no less. There is a thing I'd like to have, but I haven't found one so far. A sextant. Bring me a sextant. I'll pay you a good price for it. Incredible. You actually managed to find one. Here, you've really earned your pay. You need a lot of feeling and intuition, and a couple of good lock picks. Some chests, however, are fitted with special locks, which can only be opened with the corresponding key. So, kneeling in front of the lock, turn your lock pick to the left and right. If you twist it too fast or too hard, it will break. But the more adept you become, the easier you'll find it to handle the tool. Lockpicking is the high art of thieves. In the upper quarter of town, of course, but if you want to break into somewhere up there, wait until night. Everyone's asleep then, except for the city guards. They patrol at night. I know one of them, Wombo. He's the only one interested in gold. He's expensive, but once you've paid him, you don't have to worry anymore. Well, well, you know the sign. I'm impressed. I hear you went to the commander and set things right. They say you went to see Lee and settled that matter. That's good. I hear you went to Father Parlin and repented your sins. Alarm! I don't talk to filthy thugs. Yeah, that's the ticket. What you waiting for? Atta boy. Lord Andre will hear of what you've done. You're in for it now. There's another of those scummy beasts. No beast in here, filthy thief. Just you wait. So much for you, lowlife. Lee will give you what for. You'll see where this gets you. You're now at the Gallows Square in front of the barracks. The huge building is the barracks. Just walk up the stairs. Just walk past the large barracks, and you'll get to the marketplace. Walk down the alley from the Gallows Square, and you'll come to the Temple Square. Get out of here. Get out of my bed. And now get out of here. 10 gold pieces. 20 gold pieces. 30 gold pieces. 40 gold pieces. 50 gold pieces. 60 gold pieces. 70 gold pieces, 80 gold pieces, 90 gold pieces, 100 gold pieces, 150 gold pieces, 200 gold pieces, 250 gold pieces, 300 gold pieces, 350 gold pieces, 400 gold pieces, 450 gold pieces, 500 gold pieces, 550 gold pieces, 600 gold pieces, 650 gold pieces, 700 gold pieces, 750 gold pieces, 800 gold pieces, 850 gold pieces, 900 gold pieces, 950 gold pieces, 1,000 gold pieces. Yeah! Give the swine what for! Well done! One dirty beast less. He deserved that. Guards! You're now in the harbor district. Walking up the harbor road from the quay wall will take you to the lower part of town. Take your paws off that. Help! So I've got you after all. Cut out that magic. Something wrong with your ears? Can't you hear me? I said put down that weapon. I think I'll take your weapon for safekeeping. Gold. Okay, that's mine for starters. Yeah, make yourself scarce. You asked for it. You should have listened to me. Just you wait, you sumbitch. Damn it, what's up? See, you're better already. Murderer! These are the barracks. Just walk down the stairs to the right at the main entrance, and you'll get to the Gallows Square. Just walk down the stairs to the left at the main entrance, and you'll get to the marketplace. Die, bastard! Die, murderer! Haven't you had enough yet? You're now at the marketplace. Just walk past the large barracks, and you'll get to the Gallows Square. The huge building is the barracks. Just walk up the stairs opposite the hotel. Walking along the high city wall from the marketplace will take you to the temple. You're a disgrace to the city guard. Lord Andre will teach you some manners. For the king! Father Parla will not be happy to hear of this. One less monster around. And never let me catch you in there again. Never pick a fight with me again. We'll talk about that. There's nothing else I can teach you. You've become too good. Come back once you've had more experience. You're demanding more than I can teach you. Not bad at all. Leave me alone. You're now in the upper part of town. Walk through the inner city gate from here, and you'll get to the lower part of town. Commander Garan will demand an explanation from you. What a brutal guy. They're smashing each other's skulls. Oh man, my head. Don't take any crap. Show 'em who's boss. Holy shit. You're a disgrace to your order. Lord Hagen will be furious. For Enos, in the future, keep your paws off stuff that's of no concern of yours. Shit, I'm out of here. Stop right there, you lowlife. Never do that again. Those are our sheep. That piece of shit is slaughtering our sheep. Slaughtering our sheep just like that? Beat it, Buster. That blasted monster is gobbling up our sheep. You don't even have any gold on you. I don't believe it. I wouldn't be so sure. But he knew that all along. I hardly know what to believe anymore. I don't know why he gets so worked up. I'm in enough trouble as it is. I've heard a thing or two. I'm not touching that. You mustn't believe everything you hear. He didn't get that from me. I already thought as much. Nobody ever asked for my opinion. He really didn't deserve that. Don't say you didn't know that. That was quite obvious. Where did you pick that up then? It can't go on like this forever. I've got my own opinion about that. It was just like you said. I don't believe this is going to change. That's the first I've heard of it. We can only wait and see. I knew that would be a problem. So why won't they listen to me? He ran like Belyar himself was after him. Of course we got him after all. You have to step in and sort things out. Some don't even know how wicked they are, for that is the will of Enos. His deeds were just. Just leave me in peace. Just stay away from me with that magic of yours. What a stupid beast. You're now at the temple. Coming from the temple, if you pass the tavern on the left, you'll come out at the Gallows Square. When you're in front of the temple, go up to the left and along the city wall. This will take you to the marketplace. There's an underpass which leads to the lower part of town from the temple square. Get out of my sight, you dirty thief. Then I'll have to knock you out of here. No fighting here, do you understand? Let that be a lesson to you. And now for some action. Never try to steal from me again. All right, you win. What do you want? Do I have to show you again who's boss? Trying to pick another fight with me, are you? You're now in the lower part of town. Walking down the harbor road from the smithy will take you to the harbor. A flight of stairs leads up from the southern city gate to the inner city gate. That's where the upper part of town begins. Walking through the underpass from the smithy will take you to the temple square. Put down that weapon. What lousy weather. Hey, watch it. So what was your business in there, huh? Hey, you. What are you creeping around there for? What was that? Where do you want to go? What do you want here? Go. Will you stop it now? See? That wasn't so hard. Hey, come closer. Take a break and have a sip of cool beer. Lord Andre is springing for a few barrels of free beer. Nothing hits the spot like a cool pint after work. The paladins will set everything right. So take another draft and have a good time. You can say what you want about Corinus, but our Dark Paladin is simply the best beer in all of Mirtana. A single prisoner altered the fate of hundreds, but he paid a high price for it. He defeated the Sleeper, destroyed the barrier, but while all the other prisoners escaped, he remained behind in the rubble. It was I who dispatched him against the Sleeper. Now it is I who brings him back from there. He is weak and has forgotten much, but he is alive. He's back. And the humans slew the beast, and it entered into Belyar's realm. With the help of Enos, you have defeated the avatar of evil, and I have taken its power unto myself. Since I left the circle of fire, this alone has been my goal. In order to achieve it, I have helped you to fulfill your purpose. What was denied to me in the Temple of the Sleeper has now finally come to pass. Belyar has chosen me. No, I do not obey Belyar any more than you obey Enos. Not even the gods know what fate has in store for us, and I am only just beginning to grasp what options are open to me. But one thing is certain. We shall meet again. Yes, I have peppered him with questions. He was able to tell me a lot, but he is completely exhausted. It's almost a miracle that he survived this escape at all. I have sent him to bed for now. Nothing good, I'm afraid. He has seen not only a dragon, but also men in black, hooded cloaks. If these men exist, then their presence will pose a possible threat, and I don't like that. Here, take my ring. It will protect you against magic. As I already said, near the city of Corristo, I have rebuilt my tower here. The servants I summoned to build my tower have done a thorough job. Now that the Eye of Enos is healed, you must face the dragons. They all serve Beliar, the god of darkness, but there must be an earthly power that controls them. That much has become clear to me. Find out what the source of their power is. As soon as you've found that out, come back to me. It's an amulet. Legend has it that Enos himself was poured part of his power into this amulet. It will restore some of your lost strength and help us defeat the dragons. It also has some other hidden powers. I shall tell you more about that once the amulet is yours. If we flee now, then it's only to face the dragons later. With the help of the soldiers and the magicians who live around here, we can stop them before their army is completely formed. We're not going to get a better chance. High time, too. What did you see? We must not lose any more time, then. I shall be on my way to the Circle of the Sun immediately. Fulfill your tasks. I'll meet you there. I cannot be sure. That depends on what exactly Vatras is going to do. The enemy has learned who you really are, and that you're planning to get hold of the Eye of Enos. He has recognized the threat. It has forced him to leave his cover and openly attack. The game of hide and seek is over. Yesterday, nobody knew what the enemy's attack would look like. Now it has become only too obvious. What proof is that? That should be enough to convince that militant warhorse. Well done. The enemy has many faces. The Seekers are one of them. They're really the ones who prepare the ground for the enemy. They have taken up their positions in strategic places and are now only waiting for an opportunity to spring the trap. Stay out of their way. They are very powerful magical beings, and they will try to deter you at any cost. Go and bring Lord Hagen the letter from Garand, so that he may grant you access to the Eye of Enos. Then go to the monastery and talk to Pyrokar. He must give you the eye. Nothing is more important than getting this artifact away to safety. Go now before it's too late. The enemy will also try to lay his hands on it. The closest place where you can get better weapons and armor is the city of Corristo. But down in the valley you can find some healing herbs that will help you if you get injured in a fight. See the lake right in front of my tower. A secret passage leads to the valley from there. Good. And one more thing. Don't tell anyone that you've talked to me. Above all, don't tell any magician. Since I have gone into exile, the Circle of Fire has taken me for dead. And that's a good thing. And were you able to talk to the leader of the Paladins? Nonsense. There must be a way for you to see him. If all else fails, enter the monastery and become a magician. That might be considered morally questionable, but it would get you what you need. If you were a magician, he would certainly have to see you. Finally, I've been trying to bring you here for days. Well, so you did. Only the magic within your armor kept you alive. But enough of this. You're bound to get all your strength back. Has been banned. You've vanquished him, so much is true. But it's not within our power to stop the war that ensues now. I am talking about much more terrible creatures. With his final furious scream, the Sleeper has set into movement the armies of darkness. It was an order to all evil creatures, a word of power that they were all bound to obey. His last order was, "Come!" And they came, all of them, even the dragons. They are creatures of an ancient power. I can sense their presence, even here. And they have gathered an entire army of lowly servant creatures around them. The army is camped not far from here, in the Valley of Mines near Corristo, and they're getting ready to attack. We do not have much time left. What are you saying? Destroyed? That was our only chance to stand up to those dragons, and it's gone. We have failed. This is a painful blow. We have to reorient ourselves. I shall retreat and ponder the matter. In the meantime, you should go to town and talk to Vatras, the water mage. I could imagine that maybe he knows what's to be done. I used to be a high member of the Circle. Even then I suspected that demon magic might be the key to the magic barrier. But I could never have convinced the other members of the Circle to follow this path. So I left the Circle in order to study the black arts. That is a crime for which the fire magicians, the ordained of Enos, the ever good and virtuous, will accept no excuse. They are certain that I'm still alive, but they have no idea where to find me, and that's a good thing too. Just follow the path from here through the mountains. The city is large. You cannot miss it, but watch out. The path to town is not without dangers, and you aren't nearly as strong as you once were, because you are the one who is destined to wear it. There are a number of reasons, the most important being you have defeated the Sleeper. If you weren't a favorite of the gods, you'd be dead by now. The eye itself chooses the one who may wear it. Once you get hold of it and put it on, the paladins cannot doubt your words any longer. The Seekers have not left yet. They will not rest before they have hunted you down. Kill the dragons in the Valley of Mines and find out who's behind those attacks. Otherwise, their strength will only grow more. Ah, really? Pyrocar. How interesting. That old geezer is getting to be a nuisance. But I think I've got something for you that'll be useful. Back when I left the Order of the Fire Magicians, I took a few things with me from the monastery. Now that I've built my tower so close to town, I have to be prepared. Someone could come here and look for them at any time. I didn't want a troop of paladins or fire magicians to turn my tower upside down at some point and find all those things. So I hid them in safe places where the magicians would certainly never look for them. Some of them lie locked in a chest on Sekub's farm. No, but he can be bought and ask no awkward questions. Also, the chest is locked. Here's the key. There's a very old book among those things. When Pyrocar sees that book, he'll know it came from me. It is of no further use to me, so I guess it can at least fulfill this purpose. That's good. What did he say? Ha ha ha. That old devil. I think I know what he's up to. You have come to summon me to him. I must not keep Vatras waiting. I shall be on my way immediately. You must fulfill your tasks and then join me again. I shall only assist with the ritual when I can be sure that you're ready to face the dragons. This time we cannot handle it by ourselves. Only the power of Innos will help us against these dragons. A group of paladins is stationed in the city of Corristo, not far from here. They possess a powerful artifact which could help us to defeat the dragons. They call it the Eye of Innos. You need to get hold of this artifact. Tell the paladins about the threat. You must convince their leader to support us. Don't talk to me in that tone. If it weren't for me, your wretched body would still be rotting in that temple. Ever since I abandoned the fire magicians, I've stayed well away from them, and I do not intend to change that unless I do not have a choice. But before I expose myself to the magicians' reproachful glances, I first want to be sure that you stand even the slightest chance against the dragons. You will not get far, however, with that shabby equipment of yours. Come back, but only when you're strong enough. You're still too weak to fight the dragons. With this equipment, you'll stand no chance whatsoever. Do not come back until you're better prepared. Then I will go and join Vatras. Do not forget to wear it when you finally face the dragons. Do not lose any time. Now go to the Valley of Mines and kill those dragons. Go to Pyrocar and have him explain to you how to use the eye. I can only give you whatever little I have here. Look around in my tower. Anything that looks useful to you, you can have. We shall proceed as planned. There's no other way. You can go get yourself the Eye of Innos, and I shall keep looking for answers. He always passes me when he goes out on the east gate to collect plants for his potions. He always goes through the eastern city gate here and then disappears into the wilderness to the left. He once told me that just about everything grows there, except for King Sorrel. I once heard him say that the stuff grows near stone circles, near Lobart's farm. That's a farm near the other gate. There's one of those stone circles. I think it's on a hill. It used to be a grave or something. I'm Zuris, master of potions. Do you need an essence of healing or a magic elixir? Then you've come to the right place. I just received some new potions. My guest, Master Darren, the fire magician, brought them along from the monastery. You'd better talk to Master Darren himself. He knows more about it than I do. Yes, some flop that was. That's the last time I get involved in a shady deal like that. No, I either get him from the monastery or I buy him from Constantino, the alchemist. If you're interested in brewing potions, then talk to him. He needs an assistant. But he's too pig-headed to hire someone himself. He's just as stubborn as a mule. You're a convict from the mining colony. Scram. His chambers are in a tunnel near Herod's smithy. Shouldn't be hard to find. Humans are weak. They succumb all too easily to the temptations of evil. And so, they get involved with powers they do not understand, and certainly cannot control. Those who are steadfast in their faith have already begun the battle against the enemy. We only know that it has to do with a powerful artifact that is somehow connected to Adanos and Beliar. We can certainly assume that he is not up to anything good. And? Did he know more about this artifact? All right, so what do you need? Just try and get it. Do you now? So go ahead. Take care of it and then come back here. Ah, yes. That's easy. Listen, come back tomorrow. I'll have taken care of it by then. But you're going to have to do something for me in return. Not far from here, to the southeast, there's a small bandit camp in the mountains. If you go southeast from here, you'll soon see the tower there. One of my people, Patrick, left several days ago to do business with those varmints. Well, I told him it was a rotten idea. But that idiot wouldn't listen to me. I assume they've made short work of him. But I don't know for sure. You're going to find out for me. The fact that I know the name of their leader, it's Dexter. You'll simply claim that you know the guy. His men will think twice before they wring your neck just for the heck of it. It could still get dangerous, of course, but you can handle that. It doesn't have to be. Such a small, greasy, nondescript fellow like you won't be of much interest to them, and I can't do it myself. Those boys will get their dander up at the mere sight of a mercenary. What rat has not been able to keep his big trap shut? Looks like I've got a deal with you now, doesn't it? And be damn careful about what you tell me. For if I don't like what I hear, I just might skin you alive. That's it. You've gone too far. I'll sweep the yard with you. Wouldn't you like that? Too bad for you. I won't be blackmailed, Buster. All right, what else? If that's what you want, you had your chance. That shouldn't be too hard. Say that again and you get to pick up your teeth from the ground. I can just see it now. Right, I'll try. What else? And woe betide you if I hear that you can't keep your trap shut. And I'm only saying this once, understand? Don't get cute with me, kid, or I'll break every single bone in your body. Welcome to the Ring of Water, brother. You should go see Vatras now. Let me think. You've got to get past Torloff if you want to make any progress here. Have you already seen Torloff about it? What test would that be? Oh, I guess I can't help you then. Well, it means that I cannot help you. Or do you want me to go up against every single mercenary just so that you can join here? You'll have to do that yourself. Yeah, man. I had almost given up hope. Yes? I wasn't going to thank you at all. I was just going to tell you that you're a damn cheeky devil. Stay cool. And you're sure that Dexter didn't lie to you? I don't get it. He seems to have vanished off the face of the earth. Well, you've kept your side of the bargain. Don't worry, you can go back to Torloff. Your task is fulfilled and you've passed the test. I told you I would take care of it. But what makes you think that? So you did this. You're the one who gave me away. I'm going to make you pay for this. My time will come. I didn't mean to do that, believe me. First, all they wanted from me was food supplies. Business was really slow. So I got involved with them. Then they became more aggressive and threatened to kill me if I didn't sell them the swords they wanted. You can't blame me for this. I'm a victim of circumstances. Fine, here's your gold. And the ring. We're even now. You can't do this. Bye, Enos. I'm ruined. Fine. Keep it then. But woe betide you if you rat on me. You know I'm not doing too well. I can't give you much. I'll give you 200 gold coins and a valuable ring. That will have to do. Will you give me the incriminating material now? I've got my expenses to cover. If I don't have cash, they're going to feed me to the mob from the harbor district. I don't know. But at any rate, no more shady dealings for me. That much is clear. It is truly embarrassing that such a valuable piece is brought to us by an aspiring novice. Nevertheless, this confirms your commitment to serve Enos. I'm very obliged to you, young novice. Statuette? I see no statuette. Bring it to me, and I might believe your little story. All I know is that some people have vanished during the last few days. It's especially bad down here at the harbor, they say. Maybe you should ask around here a bit. There were some cases in the lower part of the city, too. If you want to know more, you should talk to Corrigan. He has his tavern in the lower part of town, and he's likely to hear a thing or two. Halvor, the fish merchant down by the quay, might know something, too. Many people frequent him. I can instruct you in the art of alchemy, and I can show you how to teach your will-o'-the-wisp to search for objects. Magical potions are brewed on an alchemist's bench. We have one up here in our dwelling. You need an empty laboratory flask, the necessary ingredients, and the knowledge of how the potion is created. You can get that knowledge from me. The other things you'll have to find for yourself. And what do you want to brew? I can't show you anything else that you don't already know. Well, I still can't say exactly, but it must be several hundred years old. Yes, until now, we lived in the belief that we knew the whole island. We assumed that the entire northeast of the island was one enormous mountain range. But we were wrong. Behind these mountains lies a valley. The city of the ancient people was located there. I would only too gladly see the buildings of the city, but they have probably fallen to dust long ago. Were they all where they said they would be? Very good. Then my work was worth it. Thank you. Yes? Do you think they can read the ancient language? Perhaps you should make sure that they go away, nevertheless. So it is still standing? It pains my soul to see the witnesses of the past in this dilapidated condition. He made a good choice. It is probably the most secure fortress still to be found in this region. Aren't these animals very uncommon for the area? By Adanos, curious things are happening in this area. That is unfortunate. The guardians of the dead were obviously the victims of their special skills. Their connection to the world of the dead damaged them greatly. I hope you were able to free them from their suffering. What do you want to know? They have a sort of fortress with many outposts in the east. To get to them, you'll have to cross the large swamp. Kronos has made one. He will surely let you have it. If the records of the builders are believed, then you'll find a large valley encircled by cliffs. Drought and desert sand dominate the landscape there. The Great Swamp. The area is very dangerous. Not only are the bandits lurking there, but also extremely dangerous animals. You should be careful. They were running around not too far to the west of here. I think they were hunting. The land in the south is very rugged. You'll find serpentine paths, waterfalls, and ruins carved out of the rock there. No, but the coast must be there somewhere. That's probably where the pirates have their camp. To the east, not far from here, we found the body of a fisherman. You should take a look at it. I'm studying the culture of the ancient people. Based on the inscriptions, they lived long before our time. I don't know exactly when they erected these halls, but their civilization was highly developed. They built a city on the other side of the mountains, and a temple for Adanos. Not at all. I'm awestruck at how large the city must have been. Most of the buildings were buried under stone and earth, but the ruins that have survived the ages are spread all over the land. There must have been thousands living here. It took me a long time to find the location of the mansions in the writings of the builders, but now I can tell you exactly. What makes you say that? Let's just hope you are right. We really don't need disturbances of that sort right now. It has been confirmed. The ancient culture did indeed believe in Adanos. Not really. Come back again later. Has he gotten further with his investigation? Then I will go to him immediately. If you want to learn more about this complex, talk to Nefarious. You'll find him farther back in these vaults. Now your will-o'-the-wisp can find some more things that you can use. Your will-o'-the-wisp will now search for objects worth finding. I cannot show you any more. What should your will-o'-the-wisp search for? Ah, a rare artifact. You can use it to train the will-o'-the-wisp. Do you know that? Gladly. I've worked with this sort of magic for a long time. In the east, there's a large fortress in a gigantic swamp. As far as we can judge from here, the bandits have taken refuge there. If I were you, I wouldn't go down there. They've set up many outposts and guards. You'd better avoid the swamp until you have more experience, or find a way to go around the bandits. In the west, we have discovered some pirates. I'm not sure, but I believe they have also discovered us. They don't seem too perturbed by our presence, though. The House of the Scholars is a large library. It must be somewhere far to the north. The House of the Warriors was a fortress ringed by rocks in the east. The priests and guardians of the dead had their dwellings near each other. You should find them in the southwest, and the healers had their House of Convalescence in the southeast. If these houses are still standing, you'll recognize them from their method of construction. They are elevated. A steep stairway leads to the entrance covered by high columns. I hope that helps you. Just don't mention that wannabe captain. He sits on his fat ass all day acting important. We'd all like to know what the hell the captain was thinking when he put him in command here. What do you want from that prig? Really? To do what? Ha ha! Francis will never agree to let you go into the hut so that you can nab a few of Greg's things, unless you've got something he really wants. I know that Francis has hidden something in an abandoned mine in the canyon. Once, when we were on guard duty together and he dozed off as always, he went on about it in his sleep. I've no clue what he buried there, but maybe it's so important to him that he'll let you into the hut to get it back. When the captain comes back and finds some of his things are missing, he'll have Francis's hide for it. You guys don't do anything without your grog, huh? Right. Here you go. I hope it's drinkable. I ran out of fresh water, But a little brackish water never killed anyone, right? You can have as much grog as you like. I sell it cheap, but I'm not giving it away. Get yourself some gold first, boy. Ah, a new face. What do you want, rum or something stronger? Francis got what was coming to him. I can't begin to tell you how that pleases me. You're all right. Come on, let's have a drink. It's on me. And Greg is finally back. He lost the ship, but at least he'll restore order to the camp. Nothing much has been happening here since Greg left. Morgan and most of his boys been just hanging around and boozing all day. The only one who does anything at all is Henry. He and his boys are building the palisade. It's high time for Captain Greg to come back and give that Francis a good swift kick in the ass. No gold, no drink. Great. Let me see. What kind of recipe? You're scaring me, but I'll give it a try anyway. But it sounds terrible. I must try it at once. Ah, this is mother's milk to a sailor. Here, the rum might taste a bit fishy. All we've got here is old herring barrels. But rum is rum. To your health. Here you are. You haven't got enough gold, lad. What about some grog? Ah, a seeker. I'm always after new recipes myself. Decent booze should be clear and strong and burn your throat like liquid fire. You don't find that very often. But I'm talking too much. You want a drink? Here, my own recipe. How do you like that? I call it hasty herring. You can say that again. You wouldn't happen to know a good recipe for booze yourself. If you do, you must tell me. Want another? Name your poison. Don't do anything you might regret, kid. I hope you don't want this for yourself. Yes, nothing like it to restore your spirits. Great stuff. Put it down the hatch. Rather vile muck, but effective. I can get you anything a pirate needs in order to survive. The temple of this city was once a great, glorious structure. Everyone honored it and prayed to our god Adonos. Radamus, the son of the commander Quahodron, desecrated the temple. As a result, one after another fell victim to evil. I suspect that Adonos would not forgive this, and his revenge fell upon the land. This makes it even more important that we stop Raven. He is about to do exactly the same thing. Yes, you are ready to increase your knowledge. Enter now the second circle of magic. May Adonos give you the strength to use the power now granted to you, wisely. Yes, the time is right. Enter now the third circle of magic. Your knowledge will now allow you to effect new, more powerful magic. Use it with care. The time has come. You are ready to enter the fourth circle of magic. Mighty now are your words and deeds. Always choose your new spells with care and reason. You will now be granted the privilege of entering the fifth circle of magic. The spells which you will now learn can be truly devastating. So, beware of your power. And do not succumb to delusions of grandeur. That is no longer my task now. In order to learn the sixth and final circle of magic, you had best go to the monastery of the fire magicians. It is still too soon for you. Come back later. May Adonos protect you. You are a magician of fire. What would Pyrocars say about that? I see that you are serious, so I shall comply with your request. However, should I get the impression that our knowledge is in the wrong hands, you will no longer be able to count on my help. So you had better not disappoint me. Adonos be thanked. You are finally here. We thought you would not show up again. You went through the portal and we followed you. It did not take long before we arrived here. However, you were not there. We have been here for several days. After we could not find you anywhere, Nefarious sought to ascertain what might have gone wrong. He seemed to be thoroughly baffled until now. Well, now you are here and can begin your work. One more thing. Raven has gathered a large number of bandits about him. In your absence, we have fetched another member of the Ring of Water here. We sent him into the swamp. He did not come back. We suspect that the bandits attack everyone who does not look as they do. So, acquire some of the bandits' armor. That is the only way you'll get close to them without being attacked right away. Only yesterday we found the body of a fisherman. He was lying under one of the ruins to the east. It looks as though the fisherman was from Corristo. You should look into this. In his letter, Raven spoke of a temple, and that he was trying to get inside. We are unanimously of the opinion that it is a temple of Adonos that Raven seeks to desecrate. The earthquakes are obviously the result of unholy incantations, which keep colliding with a powerful spell. The gates of the temple are magically sealed, And this is the very magic that makes the stone sentinels arise. The temple is defending itself. We must stop Raven before he can penetrate into the Holy of Holies. Perhaps it is not he himself, but rather a renegade magician in his pay. One way or another, we must avert the evil. We have collected many new insights. The earthquakes do indeed appear to be stronger here. We are not very far from their center now. The builders of these old structures erected a city here in their day. So much we can already say. However, for some reason their culture came to an end. But so far, we can only speculate as to why. We shall remain here and continue studying the ancient culture. The old scripts of the builders conceal a great many secrets which we must reveal, if we want to understand what happened here back then. Meanwhile, you must do a few things for us. You must find Raven and prevent him from desecrating the Temple of Adonos. If that is the only way to stop him, then in Adonos' name, yes. On your way, collect all the ancient relics and inscriptions of the builders you can find and bring them to us. We must know more about these people and their demise. Only when we see through Raven's plans can we thwart them. Furthermore, you must find a way to free the slaves. I know that is much to ask. Regard it as a chance to regain my trust. Since there's no way of stopping you from keeping the other mages from doing their work, you might as well take a message from me to one of them. Tell Riordian that I wish to see him here. He's in the rear part of the vault. You will find him there. The Claw of Beliar is a very special weapon. It has its own will and consciousness. You, who now possess this mighty weapon, are its lord and master. It is a part of you, and will adapt itself to your capabilities. However, it will not do that of its own free will. Only Beliar himself can force it to obey you. Only a prayer to Beliar can achieve that. But be careful. Beliar is malicious. If you arouse his wrath, then he'll let you feel it. If you give it to me, then I shall render it harmless, so that it can no longer be misused. So consider well what you will do. That lies in your hands. You've conquered the weapon, and you are now its master. I can only recommend to you what you can do with it. Either you give it to me, and I shall see to it that it can do no further harm, or you put its power to use and wield it in battle. As you wish, my son. Give it to me. So that it can do no more harm, I shall sink it in the depths of the sea. Adonos' wisdom will watch over it. That is one of the puzzles I am trying to solve. The structure of magic is being disturbed somewhere behind these mountains. Quite obviously, someone is trying with all of his might to break a powerful magic. I fear it will not be long before the entire island is plagued by these tremors. It is written that Adonos himself descended from heaven to punish the unbelievers and banish them to the realm of the dead. Aroused by his holy wrath, he let the sea fall upon the builders of this city and swept them away. The swamp to the east still bears witness to these events of the past. Very good. May they return safe and sound to their homeland. What? How do you know about that? Who? Lares. I will kill him. He has broken our first rule. Speak to no one about the Ring of Water. I don't know what I should say. I only trust you where I can keep an eye on you. What? Vatras? Wonderful. Of all the water mages on the island, you run into the one who doesn't know you. I'm warning you, don't do anything stupid this time. And? What did he say? What is the problem? We know that the scholars of this city built a library to the north. They made great efforts to record the events of the past. Perhaps you will find the answers that Quahodran demands of you there. Are you mad? Get out of here. It's too dangerous in these vaults for a would-be adventurer. But say, don't I know you? Of course, you bastard. Don't think that I could have forgotten how you betrayed us in the new camp. What sort of drivel is that? Sleeper? Defeated? Oh, and you think that settles it? That is the limit. Who gave you the right to judge us and our intentions? If I were not such a peaceful man, I would bring down the wrath of Adonos on you, my boy. Do you have the slightest idea what you have done? You have confused the structure of magic so much that it could be heard back in Corinus. Count yourself lucky that the barrier simply collapsed one day. Mind your tongue! What the blazes do you want here anyway? You are wasting my time. Be gone from here. I shall deal with you later. May his soul enter the realm of Adonos. Be careful, my son. I do not want to mourn another such loss. You had better give it to me so it does not fall into the wrong hands. Lares? Really? Where is he? What? And he sent you to us alone? What was he thinking? What? That's unbelievable. You're involved again? How do you know at least what you're looking for? Show me. It is very dangerous in the big forest. You should not go alone. Look for someone to accompany you in Corristo. I do not want you eaten by monsters, and the ornament with you. Here is your map back. Good. As a new member, you should be granted this honor. However, I'm still waiting for a message from Vatras. Until I receive it, we cannot go. I see. Of course you couldn't restrain yourself, and you absolutely had to open it, yes? I hope for your sake that my still very delicate trust in you will not be shaken. Very interesting. All right, here, take the ring. We shall gather at the portal and wait for you. If Nefarious is right, the portal will open as soon as you insert the ring there. As long as Vatras has not given me the clear sign that you are to be trusted, I shall keep the ring myself. Who gave you that? Don't tell me that Lara simply handed it over to you. Certainly. But it disturbs me that you have your hand in the game once again. And what did it ultimately get me? Just don't think that I trust you. What in all the world is that supposed to mean? So that you can once again interfere with the magical structure? No, I have no time for such games. We shall stay here and help the temple regain its former glory. All too long have its walls been in this lamentable condition. As far as you are concerned, my son, I am glad to see that I was not mistaken about you. You are the preserver of the balance. There is no longer any doubt about that. Without your courage and strength, the island of Corristo would have drowned. We thank you and will honor you in our thoughts. Devote yourself now to the other tasks that lie before you, and return this world to balance and peace. Now go and fulfill your destiny, Preserver. Our prayers will be with you. There seems to be a camp of pirates to the west. As far as we know, they're in contact with the bandits. I do not think that they will attack you if you approach them. Perhaps you can find some help with them. His name was Lance. I am afraid he did not get very far. Be gone from here before something happens to you. Fine. Then good luck. But do not forget that it must happen quickly. Raven must not reach his goal under any circumstances. That sounds like him. You must get the prisoners out of there. This grave may contain the key to the temple. You should take a look around there. That is not good. You must hurry and stop Raven. And? What about Raven? What? That is a catastrophe. Why didn't you follow him? Do you have anything new to report? I advise you not to underestimate this Raven, do you hear me? The earthquakes have stopped, and, as I can see, you're still among the living. Does this mean that your mission was successful? Then it is over. Thank Adanos. You have done well, my son. We're deep in your debt. You have snatched a powerful weapon away from evil and restored the balance in this part of the world. When the earthquakes died away, we discussed what should happen now, and we have reached a conclusion. Go and take the Claw of Beliar. May it be yours to bear from now on. In your hand, it may prove a mighty ally for us. Use it wisely, my son. May Adonos help you. We shall remain here and see to it that the temple is restored to its old brilliance. Only Mixar is already on his way to Corristo to support Vatras. Vatras has been alone in the city for too long. We know too little. However, it is to be hoped that you'll recognize their significance once you're in the temple. I'm sorry that I can't tell you more. It's all up to you now. Take the relics and make your way immediately to the temple. May Adonos be merciful and protect us all. Perhaps it is not yet too late. The records which we have been able to find in this ruin are incomplete, but the writings of the builders speak of 5 rulers who ruled this city. Each of these rulers had one of these tablets as a symbol of his power. I think these tablets are the key to our questions. As I see, you wear the armor of our members. As I see, you bear our secret sign, the aquamarine ring, and I see in your eyes that you speak the truth. Very well. I shall accept your entrance into our ranks, but bear in mind that this comes with a great responsibility, and I hope for your sake that you'll do it justice. And how can I tell that you're one of us now? The aquamarine ring that you carry belongs to Laris. I can see that. You're trying to trick me, aren't you? I expected nothing else. It is good you came. We have new discoveries that we must share with you. The sunken city once bore the name of Jarkandar. There were 5 rulers in the city who shared the power over their people. Each of these rulers had a mansion where he lived and kept his belongings. Therefore, In your search for the relics of the ancient culture, it is crucial that you should search through these mansions. If you cannot find the houses, then they presumably sank with the city. However, should they still exist, they would be of inestimable value for our studies. Riordian has studied the structure of the buildings in Jarkandar. He will tell you where you should look for the mansions. Has his spirit spoken? Then you know how to get into the temple. By Adonos, what fools we are! How could we have been so naive? The hints in the records. This sword can only be the claw of Belyar. We must get through those chambers as soon as possible and take possession of the weapon. We now know that the entrance is not the only obstacle that prevents us from entering the depths of the temple. In the temple itself, there are 3 chambers which are meant to deter all intruders. The colored relics of the builders are the key. Only if we gather all the relics and solve their riddles will we enter the inner sanctum of the temple. I don't know whether Raven was able to decipher the riddles of the temple, but if that is the case, we have a big problem. It is the incarnation of evil. Belyar himself created it. Whoever bears it possesses a terrible tool of destruction. The more powerful the bearer is, the mightier the power of the claw. Only someone who is strong of spirit and steadfast in his faith can withstand its spell. Now it is clear to me why the builders sealed off this valley. They brought this weapon of evil into their city and fell under its power. These arrogant fools destroyed one another out of greed. The cruelty knew no end until Adonis's wrath swept across the land and sank everything into the sea. Indeed, the creators of the portal did well to hide these things from the rest of the world. And what a tragic end for such a wonderful culture. Do you realize the urgency of our mission now? Raven is a strong fighter and is blinded by his lust for power. In his hand, the claw will be an instrument of destruction. He must not get the weapon, or we shall all be lost. We already know this sort of stone tablet. They'll not get us any further now. There must be more than that. That looks good. Where'd you find that? The tablets bear the sign of Korhodran, a great warrior. He is the commander whose son Rodimus caused the downfall of the entire city. I'll bet the bandits don't even know what it is they are trading there. Ah, a tablet of the guardians of the dead. It was they who summoned the spirits of their dead. The builders' connection to their ancestors was very strong. Judging from the tablet, it has something to do with the housing for the priests of the city. The name of the highest priest was Cardamon. We don't know much about him. That would have been the house of the healers. We don't know much about them. They seem to have been the first to disappear. That was the library of the ancient people. Apparently a tablet of the scholars. Very good. The image of this city is becoming clearer, but we still don't know enough. In all, there must be 5 of this sort of stone tablet hidden around here. Find them and bring them to me. Here is some gold as a reward. Now we have collected all the relics we need. You have done us a great service. I thank you. This will bring us a crucial step forward in our studies. Good, but hurry. Time is not our ally. Many of the scripts we have found can be traced to the leader of the caste of scholars. Curiously enough, he did not leave his own name behind anywhere. I must think. The question is, how did Raven get into the temple? And what did he do before he passed through the portal? And before that? Right. A ritual. Yes, that's it. I fear that Raven has made the power of the guardians of the dead his own. He got his knowledge of the temple from a spirit. You must go to Mixier and tell him about this. You drained our mound of ore of all magic power, and then simply disappeared. What exactly did you think you were doing? These halls conceal ancient secrets, mysterious secrets. The inscriptions and murals indicate a very ancient culture. Everything you can see here is written in a language completely unknown to us. We are only just beginning to learn it and grasp its meaning. It is the key to a portal. I shall not tell you more. You haven't even got any armor. Beat it. Die, bandit! Die, pirate! Your clothes don't suit you. You must have something to hide. Leave me alone. Your clothing is not appropriate for our order. Go and change. Be proud of the army, and don't run around in those rags. First, go change. If you want to talk to me, you'll have to wear our armor.
Well, kid, have you got an original copy then? There is only one thing that was not predetermined. You have destroyed one of my servants. He was chosen to bear the claw. As I see, you now bear it. For this outrage, you will die. Do you really believe you can injure me with the claw?
And once you have talked to him, you need to find the artifact of Belyar. It is the counterpiece to the Eye of Enos. It must not fall into the hands of evil. After the fall of the barrier and the banishment of the sleeper, Beliar's wrath has grown even greater. A mighty artifact, so it is written in the old scriptures, will be brought back to this world when the god of darkness sends his henchmen out to search. And just that has happened. This search has long since begun. In their search, Beliar's henchmen are desecrating the oldest shrines of the gods. Beliar's henchmen are desecrating the oldest shrines of the gods. The guardians of these holy places have awakened, and their wrath makes the earth tremble. Every powerful magician on this island can sense this wrath, and some of them have certainly begun to face the threat. You must become their ally. That's the only way to stop Beliar. Interesting. As soon as you find out something that is really helpful, be sure to let me know. The artifact of Beliar could be hidden somewhere there. Find it. And what did you find? The Claw of Beliar? Where is it now? Do you have it on you? How very interesting. This weapon can be of great use to us, but it is also extremely dangerous. Take good care of yourself, and above all, don't lose it. Are you out of your mind? Do you have any idea what you gave away there? This weapon could have been of great service to us. The ways of the gods are unfathomable. Don't bother me with details. Come back if you really find anything useful. There you are again. I never thought the two of us would meet again. Well, so you did. Only the magic within your armor kept you alive. I had feared I might not be able to rescue you from the debris of the temple, but enough of that. You're here now. There's a new threat that we have to deal with, but that's not all. There is another threat of which I have learned only recently. First, I suspected it might be a magical artifact, but I finally concluded that it is not of any great significance. I have not been able to decode the meaning of this tablet entirely, but it seems to concern the history of a very old culture. If you want the tablet, it's yours. I have no use for it. The kingdom of Murtana, united by King Robar II. During the long years of his reign, he was able to defeat all foes of his realm. All except one. Against the orcs took its toll, and the prisoners of the realm were to pay the price. The king needed swords for his army, and every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Corristo. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out the best magicians of the kingdom to create a magic barrier around the entire valley. I was one of them. Something disturbed the delicate structure of magic. We were trapped inside our own barrier. 1 second of negligence was enough for the prisoners. Corristo was now under the control of the convicts. The king had no choice. He had to negotiate. He needed the ore. Month after month, the king supplied everything the prisoners needed. Month after month, they brought the ore to the edge of the barrier in exchange. Until the present day, another convict was brought to the cliff. He did not know, but he would change everything.
In the name of King Robar II, bearer of the scepter of Verant, I sentence this convict to...
Stop! Convict, I've got an offer to make you. This letter must reach the leader of the Magicians of Fire.
You're wasting your time.
You may choose your own reward. They'll give you anything you ask for.
Very well, I'll take your letter. On one condition. Spare me the rest of his nonsense.
How dare you!
Keep silent. Right. Send him in.
Welcome to the colony.
That's enough. Leave him alone. And now scram! Get up.
A single prisoner altered the fate of hundreds, but he paid a high price for it. Defeated the sleeper, destroyed the barrier. But while all the other prisoners escaped, he remained behind in the rubble. It was I who dispatched him against the sleeper. Now it is I who brings him back from there. He is weak and has forgotten much. But he is alive. He's back. After the fall of the barrier and the banishment of the sleeper, Beliar's wrath has grown even greater. A mighty artifact, so it is written in the old scriptures, will be brought back to this world when the god of darkness sends his henchmen out to search. This search has long since begun. Beliar's henchmen are desecrating the oldest shrines of the gods. The guardians of these holy places have awakened, and their wrath makes the earth tremble. Every powerful magician on this island could sense this wrath. And some of them have certainly begun to face the threat. And the humans slew the beast, and it entered into Beliar's realm.
Xardas, what exactly happened in the Temple of Irdarath?
With the help of Innos, you have defeated the Avatar of Evil, and I have taken its power unto myself. Since I left the Circle of Fire, this alone has been my goal. What was denied to me in the Temple of the Sleeper has now finally come to pass. Beliar has chosen me.
Cast off!
So, you obey the God of Darkness now?
No, I do not obey Beliar any more than you obey Innos. Not even the gods know what fate has in store for us. And I am only just beginning to grasp what options are open to me. But one thing is certain. We shall meet